morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. For those who are watching, welcome to the Bandai Card Games Fest 2024-25 World Tour in Manila. My name is Marcus, also known as Maximus, and I'm here with my partner.
Hi, I am RJ Jacinto. I'm very excited to be here in this event because this is the first time that Bandai Card Fest goes to Manila. This is the first time that we have this level of event, and I believe there's hundreds of players from different Bandai card games. We have Dragon Ball, we have Digimon, we also have Union Arena, and of course, the main game of today is One Piece.
That's right, and I'm also excited, to see how competitive these players are, because we're not just celebrating Bandai Card Games Fest, but we're celebrating the competitive era for card games for this year. And now we're almost fast approaching round number one. Do you think what decks do you think might be able to conquer for this round?
My top 5 decks would be, of course, Blue Luffy, Purple Luffy. I would love to see BY Luffy. I also expecting to see some Lucci, and also there's a big space there for Bonnie. I really believe Bonnie can make it.
That's true, since Bonnie has the capability of surviving up until he gets that, or he or she gets that 10 Dawn play for his deck. So now also, since for those who are watching, I know that some of you are asking, where is Bandai Card Games Fest? It is located in Manila, Mega Trade Hall, Mega Mall, and we have some, available event exclusive merch. We have one for Digimon, One Piece, and also Dragon Ball. Personally, since I'm a One Piece lover, I'll go for this since it introduces leaders that were being
brothers
used.
are so cool here.
That's true, that's true. So don't forget to join us here. It's open for public, and if you want to join the events or tournaments, feel free to download the Bandai TCG app on your mobile phones.
We will be having the top 2 decks of the meta right now for our first round, so it's very intense right now. It's going to be Blue Luffy versus Purple Luffy.
Oh, that's a pretty hot matchup. We're going to go back to Dressrosa for this fight.
Yeah, this is going to be the Dressrosa once again. OP-10 is going back to Dressrosa, but we are going to be going back here first with this battle. It's going to be Purple Luffy and versus Blue Luffy. What do you think about this matchup, Marcos?
I think, like what we've talked about while we're off stream, the first player who gets that first turn will have a great advantage. Aggression, right?
Yes.
And let's not forget that they just need at least 2 key cards, most probably.
Yes.
For Doflamingo, I think he needs Jinbei and Boa, to have that consistency, plus Weevil as well for more cards to be drawn. And for Purple Luffy, it depends on how well they built the deck.
Yes.
There are some decks that are Purple Luffy with that variant for Kid 7. There's also Big Mom 9. Some of them doesn't have that, so if most probably they will mulligan for the combo, which is the Luffy Taro plus Sanguro, or Luffy Taro plus Zoro Juro. So I'm actually pretty excited to see what will be the battle against this too. So we're here with Jonathan as the Doflamingo player. All right. We'll see who goes first.
I think the die roll, Purple Luffy won the die roll, so I think he chose to be the first player. So actually, you're right with the Luffy key cards here. They need that early blockers because, as we all know, the new P Luffy doesn't contain Kaido anymore. So
that's right.
There's no blocker killer from the P Luffy side, aside from Usohachi, that it doesn't kill, but it's just rest those blockers. But if he does that, that also means that he's losing that 2K counter. With a battle of aggression, you kind of need those counters, especially if you're in the backhand. For P Luffy side, I'm excited to see if they have the, as you mentioned, Big Mom 9 and Kid 7, because those cards will help you survive the barrage of 5K attacks from B Luffy. And sometimes with Big Mom 9, that extra life can determine whether you win or lose, because sometimes you just need one more turn to finish the game, especially with a deck, with a B Luffy deck that contains a lot of blockers.
All right, all right, all right. And we're
Alright.
going to start round number 1 against Purple Luffy and Doflamingo. So I think the player was able to mulligan already. And, oh, Purple
Luffy
Luffy
starts.
gets that first turn.
Doesn't have a law.
Doesn't have any searchers yet. So for Doflamingo, I think probably
Oh,
he'll
pass.
just pass as well. So no Perona,
No
no
teach.
Buggy, no,
No teach.
no Teach.
But
Okay.
the question is, does he also play the teach build or the normal 7 warlords build?
That's
Usually, the teach build is rising in popularity now for that extra aggression and no turn 1 plays from both players.
All right, and now the Purple Luffy player, which is the Purple Luffy player,
Usopp.
attacked, and oh, he just played Usopp.
Yeah.
No Zoro Juro as well. So
Yeah. The question is, does he have the Luffy Taro Sangoro?
that's right. I'm actually excited to see if you will be able to pull it off early on, since if you will be able to play that pretty early, he will have the rate advantage against
I'm
Doflamingo.
seeing Luffy Taro on his hand. We are also seeing some Jinbei on the Doflamingo side. So if we see a 5K attack, it's definitely going to be the Jinbei combo. So the question now is, will it be a Moria? Or, oh, it's going to be a Weevil. So that's a 6K power pressure on the board there.
All right, and a cheap shot for 5K to the Purple Luffy player, which is Jonathan, and a 2K counter. That's a pretty early 2K counter from the Purple Luffy, which is Boss Bambi. All right, now I'll just pass a turn. Pretty good
Pretty
start
standard
for Jonathan.
I see the Luffy Taro Sangoro combo on the hand of the P Luffy. So we might definitely we're gonna see a 5K leader attack and a 6K Usopp attack. Then it's gonna be the Luffy Taro Sangoro.
That's right. So the Purple Luffy player needs to be careful on when he will be able or when he will use the leader ability, because let's not forget that Doflamingo is a pretty aggressive deck. So if he keeps on activating that leader ability just to make sure that he'll be able to play on curve,
Yes.
he might be he might end up losing all this life, and it's the Doflamingo player will be able to put more pressure against him. So he needs to be careful here.
Yeah, you're right. With P Luffy, most of the P Luffy players against B Dofi, they put a stop on their leader ability at 3 lives, so that they have this certain lifespan to play around during the turn that B Dofi already put up at least 5 or 4 5K characters on board.
All
So
right.
we now have seen that Luffy Taro coming down. Definitely gonna be a Sangoro follow-up.
There you go. Our favorite card for Purple Luffy, Sangorok, is, if for those who doesn't know what's Sangoro's ability, Sangoro, when attacking, he will be able to draw you a free card, technically. The only requirement that he needs is you have to be at 8 Dawn.
Yes.
But currently right now, since the Purple Luffy player, which is Boss Bambi, is currently at 6 Dawn. So next turn, if he attacks with Sangoro, he will be able to get that free 1 card from the top of this deck. And now an attack from Weevil, 6K, guarded by 2K. And I think there's a pretty huge problem for the Purple Luffy here, because he's guarding a lot of cards pretty early.
Yeah.
So 4 hand cards, taking 1 of those attacks from the Jinbei.
But
And
once the initial plan of Purple Luffy, or the what to do next by Purple Luffy, is to clear the board so that you will lessen those hand cards being taken from you. And I think the next play would be another Jinbei.
most probably. But interesting here is that the Doflamingo player is not, trying to remove that Usopp from the
Yeah.
field. So he's applying a lot of pressure.
No, because he
on the
has
player.
law bounce in his hand, so he'll be playing that to bounce Usopp back on his opponent's hand now. I think that's the
right.
play. But the question is, what will he bounce? I think he will bounce the Jinbei back to his hand, so that it's gonna be a Moria 6K.
Moria, okay.
Interesting.
I know the reason why, because Moria 6K gives a lot of pressure against Purple Luffy, since Purple Luffy is only 5K for the power. So it will require another 2K counter just to make sure he'll be able to guard each of those attacks. Let's not forget that the Doflamingo is already at 8 Dawns, almost at 8 Dawns.
Yeah.
So he will expect 5 attacks with 6K or 7K power, which will, be a pretty bad place for the Purple Luffy player.
Now,
But
yeah.
the question here is, will the Purple Luffy player go for life or will control the board?
He will go for the apparently he'll go for the board now because he needs to lessen the 5k or at least the attacker's next turn. And I think he has the Gum Gum Giant, so there's one Gum Gum Giant on his hand, so I think we're gonna be seeing that. So he's now using some Dawn, so he's at 8 Dawn. He draw one, so he now has 6 Dawns. So with Gum Gum Giant, I expect him to keep one open. So I think the next play would be a Sangoro or
Probably.
Law, looking for a 2k counter.
That's right. I think the best play that he might be able to do here is use a Law Searcher first
Yeah.
to look for those Namis, just to make sure that he'll be able to play some blockers,
Yeah.
filter those hand cards. Because I think I saw a Luffy 9 cost,
Yeah.
right? The rush that gives you additional card in exchange of a Dawn or more Dawns. So let's see what will be the best play that he will actually think of. But for me, if you're going to ask me, most probably I'll try to go for the Searcher first, since he will have that Gum Gum Giant available.
I think I think you're right with that. He now has 6 Dawn, so 1 Dawn for the Searcher, 4 Dawn for Onami, and then 1 extra Dawn for the Gum Gum Giant. So is that an Onami? No, that's an Usopp. I think that's a Frankie.
Franosuke, yep. That's right. I think he's thinking if he will choose the Usopp or the Franosuke 2K counter with a rush as well, if he will choose to go rush.
Usopp.
Oh,
He went
it
for
shows
Usopp.
for Usopp. So he still has 5 Dawns for this turn. One more or 2 more attackers. And if ever we missed it out,
Seven.
the Doflamingo player guarded that Jinbei from the attack from Sangoro. Now another 7K attack from the Usopp onto the Jinbei just to make sure that he'll be able to clear that board and survive next turn.
He has 2 Gum Gum Giant, so I think if the Dofi player guards this one, he'll gonna attack 7k again on. Oh, he gave it up. So it's gonna be a 7k attack on the leader, putting up 2 Dawns for the 2 Gum Gum Giant. But the problem next turn, if he tries to use those 2 Gum Gum Giants, is that he will be returning 4 Dawns, so he won't have enough Dawns to play that 9-cost Luffy.
But I think I know what the purple Luffy player, or which is Jonathan, thinks of. Probably, he will think that the opponent, which is Jonathan, will try to clear the board instead, because this is a threat.
Yeah.
For next turn, there's a possibility that he won't be able to guard because he guarded that last attack, which is a 7K with a 2K and 1K counter. So no 2 hand cards left for Doflamingo.
I think that's
That's
very
pretty
dangerous.
crucial.
Yeah, that's a very dangerous position to be in as a Doflamingo because with an 8k attacker and a 6k attacker, the P-Luffy player can now mathematically lethal you in a sense. Next turn, if he can manage to play that 9-cost Luffy.
That's right. So let's see if the Doflamingo player, which is Jonathan, will try to go board or will he try to go attack with the leader. All right, and the Gum Gum Giant shows up. Let's see which card will he trash for that Gum Gum Giant. So now we will go down
Another
to 6
Luffy Taro.
Dawns. And Luffy Taro goes down. We will draw 2. And let's see if he'll get 2K counters. So now gets to 4K. So that's a guard. No damage taken. And
He now has the Onami. But that's a big tell for the Doflamingo player. For a 6k attack, you opted to go for an event already.
That's
so
right.
That means you don't have counters. So let's see how will the Doflamingo player use that information now.
That's right. That's also, or he can think that the Purple Luffy is bluffing as well. So I think he's going to go for another leader attack here with 6K. And unfortunately for the Purple Luffy player, I think he doesn't have any 2K counters.
Yes.
So now he's taking
So
that
now
damage.
It's confirmed by the Doflamingo player that he doesn't have 2k counters.
All right,
Because-
pretty tight spot as
yeah.
well.
With the counter checking of 6k using that event, and now with the Jinbei attack of 6K, taking that it is now confirmed. So I think he will go for a maximum board here again with 5, I think 6 done open. Am I right? 6 done open. So 3 of them can possibly be used for the leader ability, or he can go all in to a certain character on the board, maybe Luffy Taro, and then go for the leader ability as well. He can go all in for that. Given that he doesn't have, he's now sure that there's no more 2K counter from the hand of the P Luffy player.
That's right. Now, I think he's thinking of guarding, uh, or I think they're still thinking if, or the Doflamingo player, which is Jonathan, is still thinking if he will play, or he will sort it out for that certain play. I wasn't able to see which card he's actually trying to put on top of the deck.
It was a Gravity Blade.
A Gravity Blade, okay. So that's actually.
If I'm right.
And, oh,
yeah,
it
right?
is. So he won't use the leader ability if that's the case.
Yeah, he might go for the bounce, the low bounce, bouncing one of the. Oh no, that's a Dofi, Boa.
A Boa. So he's going to leave it on top, connect one Don onto the leader, and most probably he will attack for 8K. Because, yeah. All right.
Wait, he passed the effect of Boa to check the top 3 again.
Yep.
Maybe
And
we're wrong that it's the Gravity Blade on top, because him using the ability tells us that it should be 7 Warlords.
All right. Oh,
Another
no, it's
Boa,
not.
it's
It's
another
another Boa.
Boa.
So that's an 8K
Yeah.
onto, or I'm
So
not
now
entirely
I'm sure that the third card is another Boa, because they have the same looks from his hand.
That's right. So now it's an 8K onto the leader. And the purple Luffy will use another Gum Gum Giant, throwing away that Luffy 9 cost rush just to make sure he'll be able to survive this turn and drawing another card. So next turn, he will only have 6 Dons available. So he won't have that,
The push.
the push. And also, he won't be able to gain any additional cards if ever he plays that Nami. All right.
Yes.
Even though he uses that leader ability, he will still go up to 7 Dons.
7.
And the Nami or Onami card requires 8 Dons for you to be able to trash 1 card and draw 2. Now, I think he will try to go for a board or a leader. It depends with his hand cards as well. So, real unfortunate, he doesn't have any Sanji 7 cost. If he does have that card, he will be able to rest that Boa and go for a lethal.
Yeah, I don't think. Oh, he put queen on the first on his hand, so he might be considering playing queen instead for a blocker, so that he can at least filter those non-counter cards.
That's right. And but the Doflamingo player will think that he can go lethal for next turn, since 2
Yeah.
Gum Gum Giants were already wasted, and he's currently at 6 Dons. So if ever this player will use another Gum Gum Giant, he will still remain at 6 Dons, and the Doflamingo player might be able to survive next turn, even though he doesn't have a lot of hand cards, since he does have 2 Boa blockers on field. So he needs to make sure that he will be able to clear this board and survive next turn if the P Luffy player will be able to, or will think of getting that win for next turn.
Yeah, I think he will be going for the board as well. Given that Doflamingo only has 1 hand card, you can expect that you just need to attack all those characters, and eventually he will give it up. Right now, he has 4 attackers that can hit those rested characters, and he only have 1 card. So rest assured that he can KO those 3 characters.
That's right, that's right. And also, let's not forget that Sangoro won't be able to activate its ability because it requires 8 Dons on the field.
True.
So he won't have that luxury to get another card and decide another play for his turn. So I think the best play that he can actually do here is to play Queen, just to make sure that the Doflamingo player won't be able to bounce the blocker. Because if he plays Nami,
Yeah.
the Doflamingo player will be, if ever he has that law bounce,
Which he has. That's the only card that he has.
that's the last card in his
Yeah.
hand. So it's already game. So
Yeah.
now he needs to make sure that he will survive after this attack. So I think he tried to go board,
Yeah,
right?
he went for Jinbei.
He went for Jinbei. There's a prompt that Jonathan might be able to block this 5K attack using the boa, but it might lead to to a pretty bad play as well because there's still 4 characters on the field, and if ever his life cards doesn't have any counters on it, it's already a game done for the Purple Luffy. So it still depends on the life cards and also the last play that Jonathan will make on this turn.
I think Luffy won't block that 5K because once he rests that Boa, that would be the new target of those 6K characters. And given that he only has one hand card, he will definitely gonna go for the queen play, putting Doflamingo on the clock, given that he only have one hand card and he has a blocker. He will try to finish it next turn.
All right, that's right, that's right. But Boss Bambi might also think that the opponent has Gravity Blade as well. That's also
Definitely.
a crucial part because if there's Gravity Blade, you will be able to remove at least the Queen and also the Sangoro, having less pressure for next turn, right? So
True.
there's a lot of plays that the Purple Luffy can think of because both these decks are actually pretty
He's blocking.
pretty flexible. And now there's a block. All right,
Wow,
so
that's interesting.
interesting play. And
That would
Luffy,
be the next target, definitely.
Luffy Taro. All right, he's thinking.
6K.
Oh, there you
Definitely, he'll
go.
gonna
So he'll just go board.
Yeah, he'll gonna go board. Definitely, he's playing it safe. He has queen. Maybe he's banking that he can draw another Gum Gum Giant on queen. That would be very very good for him if he managed to do that. He has 6 Dawn. He can play queen and keep 1 Dawn open for that Gum Gum Giant. Basically filtering, netting him 4 hand cards and then
That's right.
filtering 3 hand cards as well. So we might be seeing a game where the top deck's gonna matter the most. Oh, now he guards it. Now the Doflamingo player doesn't have any hand cards, and those characters will now go directly to the Boa, so that he can lessen the 5K the 6K attacks. Moria is still alive. He can go for the kill, but if he plays queen here, he might not be able to do it, or at least he has ensured a next turn for himself.
All right, like what we mentioned, best play for this turn will be a queen reducing 1 more Dawn on his.
Ooh, he managed to draw
Oh,
Gum Gum Giant. That's a Gum
what a
Gum
draw!
Giant. So
What a
rest
draw.
assured that he will live this turn because even with 10 Dawns, the best play that he can do is multiple 9Ks, given that he has Gum Gum Giant and we see an Onami that's definitely a 10K already. He will live through that multiple 9Ks.
What a top deck there from Boss Bambi. So he might get the game here, depending on the Jonathan's play for next turn. So he has 1 blocker,
Yeah.
1 Gum Gum Giant, and I think the total hand cards that he have is 5,
I think so.
if I'm not mistaken. But again, Gum Gum Giant draws you 2 additional cards, so he might be able to get another 2K counter here.
I think he also has Sorojuro in his hand, the Searcher Sorojuro, the 4 cost. So that doesn't have a counter as well. So that's definitely the number 1 target for the Gum Gum Giant discard.
Yes, that's true. And now, but let's not forget that the Doflamingo player is already at 10 Dawns with 1 hand card. Probably.
Actually, Gravity Blade won't save him here. If he goes for Gravity Blade, that means he only have 3 Dawns.
Mhm.
So the best that he can attack is 776.
Yep.
And with the number of hand cards that P. Luffy has, he definitely won't have enough to finish the game. And next turn, given that he only has 1 hand card, it's gonna be easy math for 7K, 9K, 11K attacks for him to go lethal.
That's right. That's right. So even though if that's the case, he just needs to make sure that he will be able to play defensive in this turn, since he only has 3 life, 1 hand card. That's actually pretty crucial for this turn. And let's see if he will go board. All right, attacking from Moria with 6K.
So it's gonna be a leader.
He
leader attack.
goes for leader. Okay.
So he doesn't have 2K counters.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
Onami is 1K. So if he throws two cards here, it's a confirmation that he doesn't have any 2K counters. And now Doflamingo, I don't think he has enough to finish the game this turn. Well, we'll see what those hand cards are, because if he managed to trigger some bounce or like a red rock, the P. Luffy will lose another attacker, and that might be the X factor that the Luffy is looking for to survive the next turn.
That's right. And now another attack from the Jinbei with a 7K attack onto the leader. Will the purple Luffy guard this with the Gum Gum Giant, or will he guard with 3 1K counters for this turn? I think the best play here is to go for Gum Gum Giant already, just to make sure that he won't be able to, lose all those hand cards. But let's not forget that if he uses that Gum Gum Giant, next turn he will just be at 5 Dons. All right, no additional rush attackers, since I think Purple Luffy only has access to 3 rush characters, which is the Sanji, the Kaido 9, and also the Luffy 9. So no additional attacker for next turn.
So I'm thinking if you can beat Luffy here, wherein you take that attack, and then if he has perfume, can Luffy survive? So,
Oh, he gives away those 3Ks, 3 cards. Now 2 cards left for this turn. All right, so that's a pretty good turn. So now, a pretty crucial part for Jonathan, since
wait,
he has
that
2.
the top deck right now is a Boa, so he's definitely gonna be a blocker. Oh, it's gonna enter rested, but at least he will now see the other 3 cards, so he can plan.
Even though well, let's see if he will be able to do that instead. Now a 9K. Oh,
he
a
goes for a
6K attack for the leader. Okay, he's thinking that it's just a bluff,
Yeah.
right? Because you already saw 2 Gum Gum Giants. All right, let's see if what would be the best decision here for our Purple Luffy player, which is Boss Bambi. Will he take it? Will he take it?
I think the right. I mean, in my opinion, I think it's better to take it.
But if the life card is actually blank, and if those 2 top cards will be blank, that's gonna be game for him. Depending.
Because even if the Dofi player has the perfume right now, that's only gonna be a 9K attack, which he can easily guard with Gum Gum Giant. Oh,
That's true.
wait, the problem is
There-
if the top 2 decks are 0 counters, he loses the
No,
game.
let's not forget that there's a queen. There's a queen, so he's safe, regardless.
I mean, if he takes it right now and won't block it,
Oh yeah, that's right. It's
won't have enough
it's a
for-
9K attack,
yeah, it's
right?
gonna be a 9K attack.
And if there's a perfume on his top deck, so pretty exciting play here from the Doflamingo and also the Purple
I think
Luffy.
The purple Luffy hand cards is. Oh,
Oh, he took it. Will there be a perfume? And it's a
Usachi.
2K counter.
It's a Usachi.
It's
So,
a 2K counter,
there's no way
unfortunately.
he will lose this turn. He will have another turn to finish the game. The question is, what will be those life cards?
That's
if
right.
all of them are 2K counters, he might have a chance.
That's
Think-
right.
We haven't seen the last card from the Bidofi yet. It might be a Boa.
If it's a boa,
Leader
he's gonna
ability.
use the leader ability.
So that's gonna be the Boa.
That's the
on
Boa.
third.
All right, gonna play rested.
Yeah.
9K attack to the leader. He will be able to sort it out. Let's see if he will be able to get. Oh, wow. Those top
That's a
3
Moria?
cards are all 2K counters, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah. So that's a Buggy. That's
Mihawk.
Mihawk.
And a Moria, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's a Moria.
That's a Moria 2K
So-
counter that gets 1 card from trash.
So he went for Buggy, gonna draw. He'll gonna play Moria.
Uh-huh.
Maybe take a 2K if the turn goes back to him.
That's right. So the only way out for the Doflamingo here is multiple 2K counters from life, 2K counter from hand as well, for him to be able to guard the and
And then
and
he
a
attack.
total of 9K attack onto the leader. Okay, so
Wait,
now...
the question now is, will he want to queen to survive so that he has an additional counter, the additional attacker? Because he can use that Gum Gum Giant.
All right, the block. And is there a Gum Gum Giant? There's another, the third Gum Gum Giant for this game. Wow.
So he'll
Three
be
Gum
at
Gum
5
Giants.
dons next turn. He's gonna be at 5 dons. So can he mathematically lethal? So he goes for 7k with Usopp. Then he goes 9k with Luffy Taro. That's 2 dons. Both gonna take 3 dons on Sanji. He can also counter check with a 7k attack with Luffy right now.
That's right.
7k, 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 9k. That's gonna be
That's going to be a game.
yeah, 4
For
7k
sure.
plus 1 9k. Oh,
5K. Oh.
he goes for Jinbei.
No. I think it's going to go for a leader.
I'm not sure. He pointed at Jinbei.
All
He
right,
pointed
let's
at
see.
Jinbei.
This is actually pretty exciting for game number 1. And we're seeing everyone just watching also pretty excited to see what's going to happen onto this game.
We're not hearing what they'll. Maybe he said 5k leader, or I don't know. He pointed at Jinbei. So
Oh, it's a leader. Okay, he took it. No counters. All right.
Oh no, he can now go for multiple 7k.
7K?
And that's gonna be a counter check. This is the counter check attack. So the players usually do this just to check if you have 2k counters.
And
if
1K.
he takes it, that means he doesn't have anything, and they will go.
Oh, it took it. 1 life left. We still have 4 attackers available with 4 dons available. Another 7K. All right, will he guard it?
That's another 7k, I think. That's 1 done, right? Yeah, so that's
Yep.
another 7k.
That's right.
Now he can go for 8k, 9k next turn. Or if he takes it, gonna be all in with Luffy Taro for 11k attack with 5 dons. Oh, you need to have all those life cards at 2k counter for him to survive that attack.
That is right. And we still, let's not forget that the searcher, the law searcher, can still attack with
For 5k, yeah. So he's thinking now.
I can feel that this is already game. I
Yeah.
can feel it. Because the first attack wasn't guarded. And the
And
second,
it's just the 5k.
Yeah.
That would be the smallest attack that you're gonna take.
that's right, that's right. So now he counters.
Oh.
Okay.
2k
A
counter.
2K and a 1K counter. And another 7K from the Queen. Most probably this will be game because he will go all in with that Luffy Taro.
Yeah,
He
that's-
took it. All right.
People are shouting beige, but
All right,
Yeah,
and that's game.
Oh, it's a
Congratulations to Boss Bambi for winning round number 1 against Jonathan. What a game. That's a pretty intense game number 1, especially for these 2 leaders, which is
the top 2.
the top 2 leaders that we've been seeing all throughout the internet. So, what a game there.
What a
That
game.
was actually a pretty exciting match. So, congratulations again to Boss Bambi for winning round number 1. That's 1 step closer to being one of those top 16 players who will move forward for day 2 for the top cuts.